Let's talk about the horror show that is the Labor Party. Albo's wandering around New Zealand as far from this, the most distant places of, Lord of the Rings type area of New Zealand, Queenstown itself, with Lux, and they're lecturing the world on Gaza and Ukraine and so on and so forth. It's hard to imagine a more irrelevant sideshow. But anyway, there we go. In the meantime, Tony Burke has been wandering around. He's managed to get together his act together to cancel the visa of this so-called Hamas supporter. Andrew Hastie was the one who raised that in Parliament last week, saying what on earth is this character being allowed in. Tony Burke, again on Sky News this morning, came up with some excuse about the type of visa, and that was cancelled.
Apparently had nothing to do with what Andrew Hastie highlighted and then the media highlighted. No, that was just a coincidence, Rowan. They were never going to approve this visa in the first place.
Well, it was quite extraordinary. It was quite extraordinary. We don't have the grab here, but it was quite extraordinary watching Tony Burke talk about this. And he was questioned 2 or 3 times by Andrew Clennell. Why did you, cancel? Can you give us some top-line advice? Oh, well, it was done by another minister, an assistant minister. I only got a high-level briefing. I don't know. I mean, it's just completely running from it. Now, the bigger question, of course, is really why is Australia taking 3,000 Gazans in the first place? Nobody asked for this to happen. And, the whole way that they did it, the sneaky way of giving them visitors' visas and then cleaning up, legally later on down the road, I think has been very, very...
and as soon as they're here, they'll be applying for permanent residency.
Refugee status, permanent
status. And we know the legal process there is lengthy. And in that, we know what the plan is here. It's quite obvious if you're familiar with the system.
And let's be clear. I mean, opinion polls show that Hamas has a lot of support in Gaza. Majority support. The idea that these people have all been vetted and that we know what their attitudes are, not only towards Israel, but also just basically towards Western liberal democracy is nonsense.
James, certain individuals on the bridge this time last week showed that Hamas has plenty of support here already. And I'll be talking about that later on in the show and what that says about our immigration priorities.